What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your weekly collective tarot for the week of April 18th through the 24th of 2022. Truly appreciate you for being here for me. Gonna pull some cards for this week, see what's up. I know it's a little late, but not really late. It's still the 18th, so it's all right. Gonna use the Badass Tarot deck and see what's up. So let's see how it goes. All right, we got the Ten of Swords in reverse to start things off with the illumination. This would be like, to me, realizing there's only one way to go but up in life, and not focusing on the past too much, not focusing too much on where we've been beat down, but like really getting to the point about how to finish something. So I think this is kind of like, okay, let's finish, let's intensify things, let's shine a light on the areas we need to pay attention to, where we need to, get out of our own way, maybe our heads thinking that, oh, it's backwards, or focusing on the negative, or focusing on where we, didn't, in some ways, like show up all the way or give enough maybe. Like, I think like this is like, let yourself free, let yourself free to go in a new direction. You don't have to keep sticking swords in your back. You don't have to, stay in situations any longer that are, down and out. It's almost like situations could show up this week that like make you think you hit sort of this rock bottom moment in life. Or it's almost like, because he's got like the angels kind of shooting arrows at this, like the universe is just like doesn't want to see you succeed or doesn't want to see you happy. Like, that's not the case. This is like getting to a mental place within yourself that you realize that nothing's out to get you except yourself. And that in itself will shift the tables and change things for you. The moon here got the Eight of Cups in reverse. I think we have to figure out, what we're really giving our emotions to right now. And 8 is definitely like cycles. It makes the infinity, right? So there's certain things we need to keep an emotional commitment to. And there's certain things that we don't need to run away from right now. Like, we can't just run away from everything. It's almost like we do have to deal with things so that we can position ourselves better to where we can feel better and like have the mental stamina and the emotional stamina to go in a direction that we need to go. But it's like dealing with things and not just pushing it under the rug, or not just walking away from it, or just, maybe thinking that all good feelings here are just getting thrown in the trash. Like, no, maybe it's intense. Maybe there's, a lot of kind of karmic situations coming back, but it's also like, get a grip on the things you want to commit to. Get a grip on the personal life that feels good, and pay attention to that, and don't walk away from, it's almost like, I'm really feeling like, don't walk away from the good things that you don't even know have shown up yet. Like, I feel like we already want to turn our back and give up a little bit, and it's like, don't. Now is not the time to give up, but you also can't just like call it quits and walk away. Like, that's kind of what I'm feeling from this. Or you're going to feel like you can't go get things. You're going to feel like right back into this cycle that you've already played in your own head about like maybe not feeling valuable enough or worth it enough, or that everything's out to get you. Like, no, just you have to step up right now this week and like handle the situation before moving on to the next situation. Tower card reversed for Mars. That is the Mars card, the Tower. Gosh, I just think we don't want to be afraid of change. I think it's not just like letting the tower crumble and walking away, though. It's almost like we do need to pay attention to the things that are in need of a drastic like identification, and be like, okay, this is definitely where I need to focus on, or the tower's going to come down, or this is where the tower's coming down, and I need to focus on this other area of life. Like, maybe it feels like I'm getting from this too. It's like we feel like things are stacked against us. And, I think that that's part of this mentality this week is not being in that kind of same system of feeling like, oh gosh, everything's stacked up against me. Maybe it's just like step by step dealing with the things that are going to open things up in a whole new direction. So I don't think, you don't want to shy away from dealing with things this week. It's definitely an important time to like pay attention, especially to your own thoughts and especially to your emotions, and don't give up on anything right now. And don't be afraid of change either, but don't just run away from things thinking that if you make a quick change and run away and don't deal with it, that it's going to necessarily not come back around in some way, shape, or form. Actions have consequences, they say. We got the Six of Cups in reverse here for the Mercury card. So our mind is definitely looking into the past a little bit right now, which definitely feels like this Ten of Swords also with the Sun. Like we're looking back at the past, looking back at what things once were, the conversations, relationships, figuring out how to do things differently. I think we need to create new sort of emotions in our life and kind of find that serenity. But the serenity is found within yourself, not by looking at, an old picture like it's in the now moment. So I think we have to get back to sort of the present of life, deal with things. Things might be stacked up, but they're not stacked up against you. They're actually stacked up for you in your favor so that you can really commit to the right ones. I think it's given us a really good look at like what's important, what's not important, and we can't just walk away from the important things that have to get handled because it's almost like unfinished business if we don't do it. That's really what I'm feeling. And then we're really going to be sitting there contemplating the past and going right back into this Ten of Swords cycle. We finally got an upright card. It is the Seven of Cups. Upright for Venus. You know what? I think that's very Venus and Pisces, to be honest with you. Like, there's so many good things in this life that can come in. There's so many options. There's so many possibilities. There's so many things to manifest. There's so many good relationships. There's so many good people. Believe it or not, there's an abundance of good stuff. And yeah, we might not be able to take everything, but like there's something to like focus on the stuff that you can grab onto right now that do make you feel good, that do bring this like curiosity and that do keep you like stimulated in a feel good way and then keep your senses feeling good. And like I feel like if life doesn't feel like a rainbow shitting a unicorn I said a rainbow shitting a unicorn, a unicorn shitting a rainbow, like maybe that's where we need to get our mind space. We need to get out of such a linear way of thinking about the physical of what can feel good and really start imagining different ways that we can have that. And there's so many different possibilities of what that can look like. So, and there's a lot of hearts on that too. So there's so much love out there. There's an abundance of all things. So I think remember as you're shifting things or getting out of a habit or getting out of a cycle or changing your mindset, if that's where you're at this week, to more so empower yourself and to not like feel like a victim when life can feel stacked up against you, or if things are just stacking up and it feels like a lot. It's like remember that the goodness is right around the corner. And maybe it's like just hooking up with a friend and going out and having like, that childlike energy, having some like, youthful time that just really opens up your heart space and has you feeling like, you know what, life has a lot of love to give. And there's a lot of magic in that. And from that state, you can really create a lot. And it's not about the love of the past or the good things of the past. Like envision the good things that are coming to you in the future. And see what shows up, and then grab onto the best feeling, the best one of those things, and deal with the other stuff, but keep that in your mind. And I bet it keeps like this. She looks so curious, right? She's like, ooh, that's possible? Like, yeah, actually, the really good things are possible when you're willing to realize it for yourself. Jupiter got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, which is a very abundant position in this. And, it's a very abundant card in general, all the good things, the family, the physical life, the money, it's like making it. And I think that this card with Jupiter here is just saying like, I feel like we've been pulling this card a lot in dailies and every time I see it, I'm like, yeah, that idea, that ideal, that belief isn't exactly where the world's going. So it's almost like the abundance is realizing that there is this, and there's this magic and unicorns and all sorts of good feelings out there and emotions and all sorts of good physical things too with the Ten of Pentacles. But it's like they look different. And I don't know if anybody necessarily knows what they're going to look like, but I think it's being open to really powerful manifestations coming in that you haven't been able to foresee or predict. And it's like believing that those can come in can kind of change everything. So like we really want to believe that an amazing life is possible, no matter how much is stacked up, no matter how many options are out there, no matter how many things we have to like try or how curious we have to be. The positive belief, and not like a bypassing belief, but just like a positive, grounded belief in what can be possible for you, and holding on to that, and then dealing with the present to get that. So it's like staying very focused in the now, but also having this no expectation outlook on what the ultimate peak of the week will be, but just knowing that the ultimate peak will show up if you can stay focused in the now and deal with the present, whether it's hard or easy. It's out there in a way that you weren't expecting. Knight of Wands upright for Saturn. You know, I feel like it's so funny, the Knight of Wands. It's like, I feel like we want quick, exciting love, passion, you know, creative energy in life, and we just kind of want this gung-ho weekend, or week, I should say. But it's like, there's not necessarily that. Like, we're kind of restricted from that. There's stuff we have to deal with. Like, this reading is just like, there's stuff you got to deal with before you can kind of break out. So it's like, yeah, the world's going to shift, but there's unfinished business in that world. And as much as we'd love to just throw it in the fire and burn it, it's almost like we can't. So I really think this is Saturn saying like, yeah, there will be time to play, but you have to get your work done first. And if you get your work done first, like, you can go ride your bike, you know. It's like, definitely from my life. Get your homework done and you can go ride bike with your friends. Okay, Mom. Pluto got the Queen of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I think it's also emotional expectations that are getting transformed right now. And it's like we want to feel very supported and nurtured, and it doesn't necessarily, I don't think this week's going to feel like that. But there's something in this that's transforming us into a place of like really strong value, really strong confidence. Going to let us know that we can get things done when we need to. Going to let us know that there's something we can get out of and move forward with. But you kind of got to let go of the expectation emotionally of what it's going to look like. And something's getting transmuted there. And I think we can have an intense need for like security. And it's almost like, yeah, nothing feels secure right now either. But I think it's about how we pick ourselves up from, you know, our own mindset, our own emotional value system, our own self-worth, that makes all the difference in the world this week when it comes to handling any little thing that shows up that feels like a derail moment or like a, oh my God, I cannot believe this happened moment. There's so much power in that. And it'll, you know, give you a lot of like, I think really positive emotions if you deal with it. But we're transforming the way we feel about ourselves and the way we feel we can get through things. The Wild Harmonic Oracle card is Spirit of Celestial Dream Speaking. That's very interesting. I think the dreams will be speaking. I think the dreams have been speaking. I think that there's a lot of, you know, this is very, you know, dreamy, celestial spirit. There's a lot of signs. There's a lot of strong intuition right now. But there's also these handprints. And to me, it's like really getting your hands dirty, almost like putting your hands to work this week for all the little things that you feel called to do. And it might feel like some of it is cleaning up an old mess. But like, if you're not going to listen to spirit right now and the dreams that are coming through, like, do you really think that they're going to show up in physical form? I don't know. Maybe. I'm not the keeper of that, you know, kind of information. But I feel like this is also like, you want to listen intently to those messages and follow those signs, and then actually do the thing that they're telling you to do, whether it's handle business or go create something. Like, get your hands dirty and go do it. And make it, it's almost like make your print too. Like make your seal. What's your stamp right now? I don't know if I necessarily mean like what's your physical stamp, but like, what are you stamping your energy on right now? And does it really feel like it's going to show up the way you want, or do you have doubts? And if you have doubts, maybe that's a sign. And maybe you need to move into a new direction that might feel uncomfortable, but like maybe that's where your ultimate stamp and seal is actually trying to manifest. Fifth house, creativity. That's so funny. I feel like this is a lot of creativity this week. I talked about Leo in the weekly astrology, and there's nothing in Leo, but I felt like it was important to talk about that. Like that fun, that enjoyment, the laughter, the childlike nature, this creative self-expression, really like leading with your heart, leading with your intuition, and, drama even. I like the masks. Like there's going to be drama this week, but there's something about that, like laughing things off and enjoying life and keeping like that positive attitude. And even Venus with that, like there's something really positive about that 7 of Cups card. Like, ooh, I can create that? I didn't think that was possible. Well, it is. So use that creativity this week. If you're going to hyper-focus on anything, hyper-focus on the things that you can create for yourself. And I wouldn't focus on the things too intensely that make you upset. Now, I would deal with them so that they're not lingering. And I think this reading confirmed that too. But like, you don't have to you just have to deal with the situation and get out so that you can have more fun and creative energy and love in your life. It's like whatever it is that you haven't finished, it's actually what's keeping you from creativity. So deal with the business, and then there's this fifth house, amazing enjoyment and creative, life out there for you. I don't know why I pulled another one. It's Lunar Eclipse. I was going to grab the dice, and I just pulled that, but I pulled that last time. It's so funny. We're coming into eclipse season. Like there's a lot of changes coming right now. They're intense. They're not comfortable, but they are showing us something that we need to see and changing the slide of our life. And there's nothing comfortable about it. So I know we want comfort, and maybe we're finding it, but if we're not finding it, it's okay. There's definitely beauty in the discomfort and creativity in the discomfort, because it's showing you what you need to do, and it's up to you to do it. Uranus, Scorpio, 10th house. Yeah, I think we need to radically figure out what we really, really desire and want in our life, and go at it and emotionally commit to those things that are going to be part of more of a destiny, part of more of what we want to reach higher for. It's almost like no more playing small ball. Like this is like the most radical sort of leap this week that could transform your life to exactly where you want it to go. But there is the transformation part of it with Scorpio here too. Like some things have to be torn down so that things can be rebuilt, so that you can reach higher. Or it's really about attaching yourself to the new way, Uranus, your individuated mission. I feel like the world could kind of be really shocking too, getting those dice. Like Uranus 10th house, like Scorpio, like there could be some really shocking things that happen this week in our personal lives or in the world. And it's like, don't let that get to you. Don't let that take your integrity down or block you, or take away your creativity. But, how's it affecting you? And can you use those emotions to make a change and to find more enjoyment in your life and to handle what you need to handle too? Because there's also 10th house here. It's like you have to handle your business in the 10th house. There's no slacking. Just do it in your own unique way, and and it might be a different way, but ultimately I think you find a lot of, internal authority with Scorpio too. So hope that was helpful. Appreciate you all for watching, and I'll catch you all for the next weekly tarot. Much love, everybody. Peace.